As always, the Discord link is below. Let's just go ahead and transition. And I'm getting the workspace set up. What is up? What is up? What is up? Oh. Do. Alright, alright, alright. We're going to be doing a code challenge today. I haven't looked at it. I don't know what it is. But we're going to be doing one. I'm live over in the Discords. And we might go ahead and also try to set up some stuff for the stream. So next time I might have a better graphic or pre-stream. Alright, that's going. That's going. My lights are going. I look going. I look good in my preview window. Seems like I look a little washed out. Let me know if that is the case. So, what I'm going to do first here is we're going to set up the Visual Studio kind of like test. I like to do this in any of my computers. I just have a test workspace in Visual Studio that you can go quickly code a little bit like a little algorithm format, something you're just trying to, worm your way through. You don't have to build an entire program and run for maybe a minute or two to hit your code. So I like to have a little test space that we can go and play with, and I have a lot of things kind of already set up. I was kind of going to use the palindrome that we did yesterday space, but I'm just going to leave it there. We're going to start from scratch. And I'm drinking some nice cold iced tea because it's a little warm. I had ramen today. It was spicy. It was awesome. It was amazing. But I just wanted a little bit of iced tea for the stream. All right. We're going to go ahead and head over to the main page here. Why does my video not show now on the workspace layover? Because it's hidden. And there it is. And it is upside down. I thought I fixed that. We're going to go to transform, 180, bam, we're back. All right, so for this workspace, I like to do, this is using Visual Studio Community 2022. I don't think I really played with 2022 much, but it's pretty cool. The first window we get is kind of like the launch page, so I'm just going to click the new project, and I am going to search for C++. And I just like to select the blank project. Click next, and we're going to call this test, or actually CPP-test space. So I always know that is the test space, and we are going to move it to the data drive, and dev and test is my test space I like to play in, and select folder. I like to check this box, place solution and project files in the same directory so that you don't have too many subfolders. I do like subfolders. I like subfolders for a lot of different reasons, but as for the main project, I like the solution and project files all to be in the same folder. And we're going to go ahead and click create. And it's setting up our space. Bam. All right. As always, we just need to create a main.cpp. And there we are. Boom. We got our first CPP file. Pound includes some things right off the bat. Since I got the coding going, we are going to go ahead and switch to the coding window. Why did that not bring up all the other windows? That is interesting, and I'm annoyed. So let me correct that real fast for y'all. And that is huge. I thought I got all this set up for y'all yesterday, so I didn't have to play with scenes. That was the point of yesterday's stream, just to get stuff in there. I don't know what I'm messing with. Alright, we're just going to lock everything down and get it right. First off, the code window. Yes, the Visual Studio window. Make sure that's the right layer. Yes, unlock, select. Yep, that's right. It's huge. Right click, transform, fit to screen. Nice. Now, we take it and reposition. There we go. Chrome. We always need a reference window. Not that one. Not that one. Not that one. That one. Bam. There's our reference. All right. We are back on track. Sorry about that. All right. And we need to do, I'm not using the reference yet. We can just go ahead and hide it. Just locking everything in that scene. There we go. We're just going to do standard string because normally we just use strings. And standard IO. So we can do console out. And then we're going to do int main. And just for the heck of it, it's int var I char star var C. Boom, boom, and return 0. Yay! And for funds, value. And if we always need a test value, my go-to is 42. Boom. Breakpoint it, hit the play, and we are there. Woot! So much faster. I know Visual Studio so well. My chat window is now hidden. Hello! What's up, zombie? I'm over in Discord lands. If you want to join me, hang out is fine too. I'm just going to move that over here. And we're moving on. And I got that test space set up. So we're going to go ahead and look at Chrome now. And we are going to see what the coding challenge of the day is. Home. And let me remove that here. My smallest code suggested challenge. My smallest code interpreter. Inspired by real world brain something or other. We're not going to say it. We want to create an interpreter that of a language which represents the following. Increments, data pointers, decrements for data, increments. Seems to be a lot of things. Usually they're pretty straightforward. Screw it. We're going to do it. You are talking my language here, zombie man. Smoking a cigar? Tell me what you're smoking. I am not doing it because I don't smoke in the house. I would like to, yeah, I like to have a smoking room one day, but I'm going to build it. Covered patio on my deck one day. And it is going to be amazing. Do say it out there. So, interpreter that supports the following instructions. Increments a data pointer to a pointer to the next cell of the right. Decrements a data pointer, points to the cell to the left. Increments by 1, truncated, So we do our own rolling. That decrements a data, outputs the byte of the data to a data pointer. This seems to be a lot. The function will take input. The program code is a string of a sequence of machine instructions. The program input is a string possible empty will be interpreted as an array of bytes by a single character ASCII. Okay. And a comma of instructions. We actually have to use brackets too. Oof. I see a big switch coming. Maybe, do we have to pre-scan it? If the byte of the If the byte at the data pointer is 0, then the instruction moving the instruction pointer forward to the next command. Jump it forward to the command after matching. You know what? I do not like this. There's too many things. This is meant to be fun. This literally seems like work. We're going to skip it. Can you get the loop? Is the next one here. You are given a node you're giving a node that is the beginning of a linked list. The linked list contains a dangling piece and a loop. Your object is to determine the length of the loop. Ooh, I don't think I had that. I'm going to have to try that. For example, the following picture size is a dangling piece is 3 and the loop size 12. These are meant to be fun. Let's go to the practice. I said to myself, I'm not going to select these ahead of time. I might do that now so I don't just fumbling around. Sample string revealed. Usually these are just fun little algorithms. I never had this problem. All right. This one. Complete the function to determine the number of bytes required to convert a to an integer where a and b is greater than 0. The upper limits of the max value. Example, you can change a 31 to 14 by flipping the 4th bit. Thus, 31 and 14 returns true. Complete a function to determine the number of bytes required to convert integer a to integer b, where a and b. Nope, I don't like it. Every time I found some of these, it's been easy. Alphabet Wars, Airstrikes, and Letter Massacre. In this Kamala, you'll be given a string and 2 indexes, A and B. Your task is to reverse the positions of that string between those two. Okay. Will be uppercase. Alright, this seems easy. I'm not trying to pick and choose, I'm sorry. Here we go. Alright. So we're given a string and 2 indexes. The string is Code Wars and an index of 5 and 1. And then that means we need to take Code Wars and reverse them between the letters 5 and 1. Then it seems like we also need to, if we take Code Wars between 5 and 1 again, we need to capitalize them. So, okay. If the input would be lowercase and uppercase. Okay. All right. No, we don't have to do anything with the uppercase. It just tells us to be lowercase or uppercase. There we go. Howdy, man. How are you doing today? Took me a minute to find a nice, simple one. This is going to be kind of like the palindrome that we worked yesterday, being such that we're going to just kind of use a for loop starting at one index, ending at the other index, and just decrementing them to the middle. I think that would be easy enough. Oh, one thing I don't like about this website is their spacing and also brackets. Ugh! brackets must be on a different line. I hate same line brackets. First, let's just do some simple input checking because we don't trust the user, and to also weed out the edge cases. If string.size is equal to 0, okay. I see what's going on. I was just looking at how they want us to return this. And we are just going to see, it jumped. It was supposed to be there, but not there. Actually, no, it is supposed to be there. Okay. Yeah, I like more indentations. I like four spaces or a single tab. That is my preference. Right here, we're just going to return the current string because we're not going to do anything. And if we get to this part, we can also use some shortcut logic. Size has to be greater than 0. If we get to the second part, if it is equal to 0, it's going to fall in and return, and we're just going to kick it out. If size is less than, and I need to bracket it. If the size is less than a, so that means a is past the end of the string, we're also just going to return the string. Or if now size is less than that, and I'm just doing some nice checking here. If b, lowercase b is less than or equal to a, so now if they're equal to each other, the indexes, that means there's nothing to switch, and we just return. And if size of a is less, if the size is less than a, so that means yes, a is greater than. And do I want to do another one? If size, I don't like keep doing size. If size is greater than b, there's all my shortcut logic. Int index equals a this time, and while index is less than or equal to, I think equal to, we'll run it once and see what happens. And then we're going to index plus plus. And I am also going to give ourselves, if you have any questions, let me know, and I will be happy to answer them. Int end index, let's call it swap index. Swap index is equal to b. The spacing I have to do manually, I dislike it. So we're going to manipulate s by itself just to save some memory space. It's not const, so we can do that. It's copy by value, so we're not affecting the original string passed into us. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do. So s index, well, we need to save a temporary character because we're swapping. And so we don't do that on the stack over and over and over again. I'm going to create it for the for loop. And now do temp is equal to s index. Then it's a 3-step process always to switch something. S index is now equal to s swap index. Then swap index is equal to temp. and then finally swap index minus minus, so retracting one, and we do it again, and again, and again, and again, and finally to return S. Oh, I forgot on this program, Control S saves. And now let's fix Frank's typing. So we got size wrong here, and do it again. Expected Code Wars, actual Code Wars. See, the one thing about this, though, minus we're forgetting about ints and t sizes, we can't step through it. This should have worked. Shouldn't got close. Something should have happened. It looks like I didn't do anything to the original string. Index is equal to A, while index is less than or equal to B, index plus plus. Temporary index, we move it, we do that, we do that. Did I... we can definitely just go to our fun temp space and see what the hell happened. So I'm going to transition. We're going to turn on the window overlay and copy and paste. No, Control A, Control C. Slam that there. And I need to bring that window back for me. What was it? Solve. I wonder if I did not get the bailing logic quite right. And see what the hell happens. Thanks, IntelliSense. You added an extra one for us. All right, we're going to step into, which is F11, step over. We got our Code War string, which we see down here is Code Wars. We have our A and B as 5, swap index is 0, and temp hasn't been allocated yet. So we see Code Wars size is 8. Aha! Something happened here. Which one did we fail? 8 is equal to 0, false. A is less than, or B is less than or equal to A, that's false. Size is less than A. And size is greater than B. We're just going to do a temporary value called size and throw size. I bet someone sees it already and yelling at the screen. Some compilers let us step through this, and we can see each one of these fail on its own right. Size is 8. 8. 1. 8 is larger than 1. That fails. 8 is greater than B. I think that's the last one. Size has to be greater than B. I don't like this statement. I need to write it nicer. Its size if A is greater than S size, I knew writing it, I should have reversed the logic. And if A and size is greater than B. We still returned it. Where are we going wrong? A is 1. If A is greater than C, that has to be false. Where are we failing? If 8 is greater, this guy. If size is less than that, that's what we want. All right. There we go. Okay, so what I had wrong, it was this part here. B should always be less than size because we wanted it inside. I was trying to say if I had it in my head, I just haven't had it right on the screen. If size of the string was smaller than B, then that means B was outside the index range. That's what I was trying to catch for. And now we do the swap indexes, create our temporary space, and swap some things around. Index of A is 1, and index 1, we go to O, swap index is 5, it's an A, and it looks like we are actually moving things around. How is this not yelling at me because I deleted the return S? And for the heck of it, there we go. And if we run it now, we see string is code wars. I didn't do anything? Huh? Or is this a weird thing because S can't be changed? We have a O in it. That's correct. That's O's 1. The A is the 5th position. There's the A and the O are switched. Yeah. This is treating S as a const. I don't know why it's doing that. To get around it, we'll just do... This is why we test. Return equals S. Rapid radios, I gotta look. Give me a model, zombie. I don't like this. My other method should have worked. Still said I returned Code Wars. Yeah, give me a model. We'll look at it. You got to type the actual model number in there. It's not going to let you do it with the name or a link. Unless you send it to me on Discord. Don, welcome to the channel. C++ doesn't suck. Sometimes you just forget about weird rules. Like right now, I'm honestly, this is going to turn out to be a weird thing. Why didn't it change it? It's not const. Should be another error if it was const. Oh, I think I'm going too far. I am stepping and then I'm crossing and then it's undoing it. That's what's happening. So let's go back to just using, know what? No, we're going to keep the temporary one. Because, yeah, so I'm doing do until index and B, boom. That's what's going on. All right, you can't find it. Let's see if we can just pull it up. Yeah, rapid radios have a lot of models. I'm not too much into GMRS radios, to be honest. Just because if I can use ham radios, you're going to get more power out of them and everything else. Um, Using LTE network, yeah, that's pretty cool. You don't have to be in the same localized area. You just got to know that you are dependent on the wireless networks, cell phone networks, to be up. If you are okay with that, then this might be a great solution. Your family doesn't have to be um, your family doesn't have to be in the same area to receive the RF. You'll probably have a better quality of signal. Um, if you use these in a jammed cell phone network, your probably signal quality is going to degrade, especially like if you take it to Six Flags for me. That's just down the road, and that area is always jam packed full of users and data, and just background data always hitting it. You're probably going to have a little bit of degraded service. But if you're going into that with your eyes open, it could be a great solution to keep in touch even across the city. Um, will I use it as a response radio in a crisis? No, because I don't want to depend on the cell phone network. The cell phone network will fail, it will be turned off, and then you won't be able to use these. So, in general, a cell phone tower will probably have enough power for 6 hours, maybe a little longer, if it's just on its own, and then after that, it will go dark. So, if this is written into your emergency plan, it is not a very good emergency device radio. There is my 2 cents. Now, let's get back to the coding because I need to fix this because we need to be half of B. And then this will work. I forgot about that. I did that in my palindrome right off the bat. Totally forgot about that in this one. What is this black box here? Can we find it real fast? It's not the chat layover. There's my layover. Visual Studio? Nope. That's me. We're not using Zoom. We don't have any logos. That's that window. The chat layover is there. Discord layover is there. Oh, it's the debug. I'm not using the debug window because I'm just reading it down here, which kind of stinks because it's hard to see on screen. There we go. It works. So what we learned is make sure to stop and all your checks, failed checks at the top is pretty good. Just make sure you're iterating over the correct range and not doing it twice. I always like to recap on what I learned when I find a mistake. Oh, look! That's awesome. So it's showing me, we're just going to put a breakpoint on the returns. What is in that value? Oh, Don points out it's also $50 a year. Ew. Ew, 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 ew. Why? Also, and Don also points out for those rapid radios, also remember 5G will replace the 4G LTE network. Um, so that might be also a limited factor. Ooh, that's a great point. Yeah, also read the fine print. Read the fine print. Here, the return value, Code Wars, and it's misspelled dyslexically. Love it. We're going to go back to our window over here and make the corrections. Copy. Paste. The indents came across nicely. Sweet. And we're going to hit the test button. Ooh, we found something. Coding is fun equals coding is... Oh, that's probably what they meant with capitalization. They want us to switch. No? Is fun 2 to 100. What did they do? They just ran it to the end. I kicked it out because it was too long. So they did an edge case. Yes, if you're kind of looking for the same functionality, Zillow is free, and it stores the messages on the phone that you haven't listened to, so you can also get a backlog of messages that you can see what's going on. You don't have to immediately hear what you needed to do. Coding is fun, and the I and F are switched, but they preserve those letters of capitalizations. We're not ending it, but it wants just to run it to the end of the string. So, blah, 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 blah. If size is greater than 8, we're going to keep that one, pop that there, take this statement, and else it. Else if, I could do it in the other window. No, they just want us to run to the end of the string. So we do B equals S size minus 1. Boom. Okay, Dawn, you're in the room. For you, do you like your curly brackets same line or new line? I'm totally a new line, Dawn. And we'll hit test again. Create an app where you store messages of random size without using malloc or free, or in C++, the new. I'll just use strings, std strings. Then I don't have to use malloc or moo. It's abstracted away. That's what the string class is for. We agree on a thing, Dawn. Yes. New line, new line, new line. New line all the way, man. So we got past that 100. Now we're in this one. Functional programming. They're almost the same in my mind. What's wrong here? Oh, the middle here. 0. 20. 2 to 15. This area is messed up. Why is that? We're getting close. We'll just change it here. Copy. 2 to 15. So it says we came up with the same thing. What is that? CFS. CFS. Flight software feature. I haven't heard of this. I know of Rust and a couple other things, and I started looking into Rust. I don't like the syntax. Did I find the right site, Don? Here, let me... Well, this is going to suck for the pop-up, but I can come in here, click Don, add as moderator, standard moderator. Boom. There we go. Don, you got the blue wrench now. Link me to that website. Did I find it now? I will play with this in a bit. I really want to finish this and figure out what I did wrong here. Did I go too far? All right. Can view, take it out. We're going to look this in a notepad. And it says I should be this. Nope, this. And the original was this. And 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 2, 1, 1. So 2 to 15 is the, let me show this window. That's the wrong window. Here we go. And I'm upside down. These scenes, some of these scenes I haven't used in a long time. All right, functional programming is what we got. I've numbered the letters underneath it. This is the one I'm creating. This is what we're expecting. And from 2 to 15, we're switching. Why is the A not moving? I'm already 0 indexing. Let's write that again. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 20. Okay, I wrote the numbers wrong somewhere. To 15. Got that. All right. And 2 minus 15 is 13, so there's an odd number in the middle, which I should be rounding down, divided b by 2, which is 7. So that means we're incrementing 7 times to expected n and 0. 1, 2, 3. That's correct. I'm just going to watch it. We got a computer to do that for us, Frank. Why don't you just watch the computer? Ten is represented by 0. Yeah, I fixed it. I messed that up. I'm thinking this is because it's odd. We're switching the 2 and A. Yes. On 3, we're switching the C and the R. Yes. Six, 7. The N and that. I think I'm just stopping 1 too early. It might be the case. Because it's rounding down. On this one, let's just do a +1 to see what the hell happens. And just let it go. Yep, that fixed it. It's going to fail other places, and we're just going to confirm it. Right screen. That's exactly it. I'm stopping 1 too early on an odd number. I don't want to add extra logic. How can we fix this nicely? Yes, Don. I have, oh, I can't show the question now. I have to do the pop out. Let me fix it. The pop-up broke when I made you mod. So, Don, you broke the stream. The question is, have I ever done cross-compiling code? Yes, I prefer writing cross-compiling code. I've done many projects where they compile in Windows, they compile under Linux, they compile for real-time operating systems. And that makes the code easy to test on servers. It's easy to take that code, reuse it. If you have a particular bus or data you're sending over, you have the same code serialize the data, and then you have the same deserializing, and then you can have your code sitting on both ends of the pipe and sending data back and forth and talking to each other, and it's the same code base. So I've written libraries like that. x86 ARM, yes, that will work too. We can't just always slap 1 on here because that will mess up the other stuff. We'll probably fail on the evens. Just take a look. We might fail earlier. No, we got farther. But that 1 is now the issue. End index, yeah. Int end index equals b minus 2 if b divided by 2. Well, yeah, let's just do it that way. If our under odd is equal to 0, not equal to 0, that means it's an odd number, and we're just going to do end index plus 1.
Frank, what
There you are.
headset is that you got?
This is the normal headset. Are you hearing me
No,
weird?
no, I mean brand and all that.
Oh, it's a Corsair. It's the same one I use for ears.
Is it USB?
Mm-hmm. Is your hearing bad audio?
No, I need to replace the one I'm talking on.
Yeah, this is a US. It is actually a headphone jack, but it came with a USB converter.
Oh, okay, I do have that one.
Yeah. I'm feeling like my code here is not elegant anymore. And it's breaking again somewhere else.
Well, it's not C.
There's too many if statements on this thing now. I'm not liking it. I'm just triggering if it's odd or even.
Yeah, but you know what I mean by cross compiling, right?
Yeah.
That means like compiling or running on compiler on x86 that produces ARM binaries.
Yeah, I've done that too. The some of the hardware that we were running on a real time operating system was ARM on a um, VX box. So
Right.
it was the same code I compiled. I even used a different compiler, but it was the same repo we were pulling in and creating CMake
Mhm.
files for. Until Juniors came by and completely butchered all my CMake files, and then they just used the standard C++ or Visual Studio project files and the Workbench projects, which those then you had to simultaneously keep up 2 different project files, which was annoying. But I wasn't going to redo all that code again. But I try to prefer to write that code that way. Well, I think I'm just going to take the L on this one. This one seemed easy. I just can't get it quite right. And it's off by 1 here and there. Hey,
Run the question through Chat GPT and see what it comes up with.
never. Never.
I had an intern working for me, and he started his code that way,
Mm-hmm.
and at the end of the day, he ended up with a pretty good solution to the. I mean, he left before we got it completely finished, but what he did do was really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't do. I don't want to say he did the software in that. He just started it through there and got the basic program structure, and then he kind of filled in all of the things that were needed.
Mm-hmm. Well, I'm just gonna click this unlock solution.
But I've never even I don't even know how to use Chat GPT, so I've never
Oh, I could done it with
done anything.
reverse. I totally
That's the
forgot about
thing.
reverse.
Yeah, that's the thing about coding stuff like this. One of the things they're looking for is they're looking for how well do you know the compiler and all of the libraries that come with it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's how you end up with a very simple solution is you've called a library that does like 90% of it for you.
Mm-hmm. If the last index, they renamed it here to make it nicer. Last index is less than the size. Then it goes to the last index plus one. Else, beginning index plus starting index to the end of the index. Okay. Yeah, that's nice and elegant. I am saddened I did not figure that out. I should have done reverse. I was trying it too much by hand. I like to write it by hand, but then I penalize other people for going out and not using standard template stuff for standard
Yes,
template stuff.
templates. Templates are nasty.
I don't understand why in flight aviation, especially dealing with safety flight code, sometimes they discourage you from using standard template libraries.
Well, I mean, if you look at what NASA's doing in that code there, they don't even use C++. And it's not because they hate, I mean, they specifically hate the language. It's just it's overly bulk for what you end up with when you compile. So you end up with, because you're using templates, in order to get to templates in the machine language results, you have to jump through all these hoops, and they just don't want to do it. So it's written in C. It's actually
Well,
written.
C itself is using other. You got templates in C, and you're not.
Yeah, you have to look at the way that that's written. They don't take advantage of all of that stuff. And again, for it's very much for embedded. And so if you think about it, right, like say you've got a device that you've written code for, and if something breaks on that device, well, you can go and fix it, right? Well, that's not true of something that you've launched into space, whether it be a satellite or whatever.
Hmm.
And so they're very, very careful as to what they allow and don't allow in that structure so that you don't run into problems with stuff. See, like
Okay.
thanks to the operating system abstraction layer and the platform support package,
Hmm.
they've kind of written in those two things, they've written the rules by which it interacts with both the operating system and they and then they create the platform on which you're coding on top of it.
Hmm.
So
Have
it's a
Have you heard of Have you heard of Face?
maybe, but I don't.
And it's something what the Air Force uses, and part of their thing is they don't like standard template libraries. They have their own string class that you can use and pull from, and if you want to use, vectors, you got to write your own heap handler and stuff. I'm like, why? That's why the standard template's there. They've been beaten on by smarter people than us that can, by doctorates, who write this super efficient stuff. That's why the standard template library's there. That's why we use them. And
But then you end up with variable names and symbol tables that have variable names that are too long, like 25 and 30 characters.
well, that's
That's so
name mangling. That's
yeah,
something
exactly.
else.
That's
Yeah,
horrible.
it
It's
is.
horrible in the simple terms, and that's why they don't use it.
And it takes a I haven't done it in a while, but it takes a while to learn how some of those are done and named, and then you can start reading them and figuring out what's going on, especially with linker issues. Uh, in link time instantiated, yeah, the delayed linking and you're talking about. So it just loads a little bit of the library, but doesn't instantiate it all the way. And when you're talk about just in time compilation, like C sharp. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. That's done. That's so. I think well, the bell's ringing now. So you're talking about just templates themselves, not standard templates, but the template case. Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, the compiler go through there and it will create in the compilation every template that it thinks it needs at the compiling stage. I don't think it's at the linking stage. So is that something they changed? Yeah, like what number? Mm-hmm. 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 Interesting. Nope, I wasn't aware of that. They templates to me are always done at compilation time, and every now and then you have a error where it thinks it compiled for something. Then you get the linker error later down the road, but then you realize it's taking this and converting it from this to that, and then when it tries to find the other use case, it's not actually there. So you have to specify it. Um, but no, I never had. Um, I never knew it was linked compilation time for it. I do I I do like using templates, because they're create some very flexible containers. I've seen no containers as just data containers, a class that I could shove just stuff in there, and it manages the objects themselves and not manipulate the data itself. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Where are you're there? Can I send you a easy message, Don? No, I'm just gonna have to find you. Yeah, well, that's what I'm gonna do. This great makes great radio. Um, yeah, I'll look into this. I'd be willing to to learn a little bit, but if this is C, usually I'm better at typing and talking. All right, well, that is today's code challenge. I took the L. I should have known the templates better. Um, I think that's going to be it for now. Y'all are awesome. Thanks for hanging out with me. This shows me I need to go and brush up on some of the string template stuff. Y'all take it easy and be safe out there. Oh, I'm wearing my gross shirt, which I meant to change. This was this shirt. I went to go mow the lawn this morning, but the lawn was still wet, so I stopped. So I just have one strip.
No,
I got to finish
I'm
that.
I mowed mine yesterday,
Yeah,
and it was bad. It was
I
bad.
thought it
There
was
was a
gonna.
lot of standing water in the yard,
See,
which
that's
I
why I
didn't see.
waited. That's why I waited till today. But I think the just dew on the ground was a little wet this morning because when I pushed the
Mhm.
lawn over the sidewalk, it just started blowing grass everywhere. And I was like, okay, I'll wait a little bit. So
Well, I mean,
we go ahead.
most of the yard was dry, and then I would run up and like there was water. It seemed like it was seeping up out of the ground
Yeah.
around me, and in a few spots. I mean, see the thing with that zero, man. I'm telling you, if you get a zero turn or a riding lawnmower,
Mm-hmm.
uh, man, I look forward to go out and mowing the grass. Honestly, it's so
Ah,
much fun.
I don't.
Yeah, well, if you got to push a mower, no, that's horrible.
Yep. Well, my yard is not large enough. I know you have acreage now. Um, I just have the little grass in front
Yeah,
and behind my house.
yeah, but I can tell you, I can literally mow my yard, this entire property here, faster than I ever could at my house in Richardson because of all the like, I, I don't know. Well, it's because of the width of the cut. I mean, I've
Mm-hmm.
got a 60-inch cut now, and then I'm doing it at 25 miles an hour, literally.
Oh, nice. You know what? I think I would
So
enjoy that. Mowing would be less tedious if I had a lawnmower. I just go, "Meow, meow, eh." All done.
yeah, and you don't pull start it. You just go out and
Hit a
you
button.
know yeah, exact. Turn a key on my case, but yes, and then it fires up and you take off, and it's up to you how fast you want to do it.
Hmm.
If you want to do it at 5 miles an hour, you can do it. If you want to do it at 25 miles an hour, you can do it. Depends on how many straightaways you have, and again with this property, you've got these long stretches,
Hmm.
so I can go really fast and then turn around and come back really fast.
Oh, that's
So
awesome.
yeah, it's fun.
Well, all right, man. Well, take it easy. And I am going to go mow the lawn, then head to my neighbor's, and I think I might hang out and smoke a cigar with her. So, y'all take it easy. Be safe out there. And the stream's done.
Yeah. So, uh, what are those people?